address is on the invite.
It is currently 6:15,
right,
so I'm gonna get us fired up really quick. Cause
I gotta find this beer and see if there's anything about it.
just look it up while we're
So
chatting.
Yeah, I like to be a little more prepared than that. Thank you.
But,
You know what?
I
want evidence of this crap going on.
We haven't missed anything or forgotten anything.
Oh, wait, is that the list of the
I used to do notes and nobody used them, so I said, okay, no notes. I used to make events.
I used to use your notes.
I used to make events.
I used to use your
and
notes.
nobody bothered even making sure they're going to show up in the event.
I
so.
did. I'm not.
I love
The only thing I didn't do is I never did do the hey, I'm Larry. He's a little bit
So
about
Galloping
me.
Ghost has got one.
You should do that.
And I still feel bad about it.
Galloping
presentation or not?
Yeah, because
I still feel bad about it.
True
They're
story.
in that rule.
Oh, wait. Switch to studio mode.
So you know there's a presentation room named after us.
No, I just heard that.
There was last year, too.
Yeah, there was last year as well.
Is the chicken
But it's called
panel in it?
G2B now.
This year it's not guys, games, and beer.
Is it ironically the chickadee panel, the all-woman panel in the guys' games and beer room?
It's G2B.
It would be
Did you just call it the
ironic.
chickadee?
He did say chickadee panel.
Chickadee panel, yeah.
Did she put that one room there in?
And that's fine. You know,
We are so going to get in trouble.
but I think it would be dang ironic.
I don't.
Isn't it ironic?
You know?
Don't you think?
Let's see.
I mean, granted, we have had women on the show, you know, on our show.
We
you
talked
know,
about
on and
feminist
off,
issues.
and
We talked about everything.
Yeah, we did that one.
issues, so-
We did the feminist issue
So-
show one show. That really didn't go well. I remember.
You know what's wrong with women? That didn't work.
Gotta just
I
put
didn't
it
know
out
that
there.
one. All right.
First thing I'm gonna do
we
is
have a
treat you
car on the
exactly
road?
like I treat my male friends. It ain't gonna be good, but it'll be equal.
I mean, you do dry help everybody. So.
I was gonna say,
people
Larry,
have a
I have
pictures
literally used that before.
Like,
I treat everyone the same way I treat
I know.
They don't
my friends.
Well, we're definitely not getting feminist frequencies.
You would think they
seal of
would.
approval, even though we do agree with them in some ways.
I'm like,
Not a lot, but
I
some.
treat my male and my female and my agender, whatever ones, the same way.
Like whatever it was. I can't imagine that is a proper addressing.
talking.
Hey, whatever you are.
Oh, that's a
that
good
is not good. That's not good.
Avoid talking and touching anyone at all times.
I go with whatever you want to be called. I'm fine with it. It does nothing to me.
Yeah,
Yes, it's another
that
podcast.
is
I'm not confused about this. It's fine.
Oh, that's what I told someone about. I was like,
Oh,
What are you
what if
doing?
you want to
Yeah.
be? You be you.
inappropriately named.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
me.
I agree. You be you. I
But
think you should.
yeah,
be
Oh,
that.
they're in a worse room
Here's
than
the
we.
thing.
We've got some
The
really
thing
good
that you need to worry
presentations
about-
going on in our room, guys.
The thing you need to be worried about.
Well,
is,
you know, we should probably
are
mention
we
that.
friends?
that
Yeah.
we-
Then
Well,
I'm gonna
let's
treat
mention
you
that
the same
tonight.
way.
Yeah.
Check out the
We-
G2B
Like
presentation
shit,
also.
Yeah, because there's
Pretty much. That's how we roll.
really good panels and
Because, you
guests.
know,
Yeah,
We
we've
need
got
if I'm
some
making fun of you,
We've got
Do
some
we need
really
to change
good guests
the
in our
beer
room.
to like?
And we can point out that we had no handed
panels?
selection.
Anyway.
So it's going to be good.
I know.
All right, round it up.
All right, let's
Let's
round
get going. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Damn, that means I gotta put another timestamp on. Live from the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Media Empire. It's Guy. Yeah, that's sticking. It's Guys, Games, and Beer. Yay! Woo! Yes.
We are excited tonight, Rob.
We are excited, and somebody's stepping on the cable again.
That'd probably be me.
Stop stepping on the
Larry, get out
table!
the cable.
I'm
No, Larry's on
The
the
bits
table.
can't flow.
And I'm excited.
There we go.
Joe
Bits are
Weber.
flowing.
Really? You couldn't remember to mute that?
Oh,
No,
man.
I can't. I'm trying to look for the live feed and it's not up yet.
You can't really find it
Man,
very
those
easily.
Which live
on,
feed?
Out quickly.
Yeah.
Facebook.
How about
Yeah,
Facebook?
usually-
There you go.
Yeah.
On mobile Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Hey, Facebook, it's Guys, Games, and Beer.
Hey!
Forgot about him. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, Facebook. Not really.
However, we are completely
Welcome
live
to
on
the
Chatterbait,
night.
so
Yay!
don't worry. That'd be hilarious.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
So hilarious to do our shows live on Chatterbait. I still think you should do
I
a
think we
gals.
could get a good amount of tips.
I think you should
Yeah, I
do a
think so,
gals,
too.
games, and beer.
Oh, we would.
We've already done it.
Hey, Colt!
Yep. For FYI, Scott, we already did a gals, games, and beer. There actually was an all
Yes, there
women
was. They did
episode,
an all-woman episode, yeah.
Yep, sure did.
I wasn't there. I don't remember.
You were the gals.
He really did look good with those pumps on.
Uh,
All right, so why don't we go ahead? I'm waiting to crack this open. So
Wait,
I have a lot to say about it, so just hold on.
yeah, hey, there's like this thing we do before.
You know,
Yeah.
what
Yeah. The jingle.
Oh, the
Judging
jingle!
Alcohol.
Ba-da-bum!
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. We suck at intros.
It's not like it's 100% necessary, but it's all about consistency. So.
Yes.
Okay.
We have so much.
So-
Yeah.
So, Larry, what do we have tonight?
So today we have.
I misread this. I swear I thought it
Boober?
said Huber
Boober?
cock.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong on anything. What did you first write?
I thought it said Huber.
It's Huber. It's Huber.
Huber, yes, for Joseph Huber Brewing Company out of Monroe, Wisconsin.
The law was
Joseph
named
Beer,
after.
we have the Midwest Gaming Classic going on, which is the largest gaming convention in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And so we thought, well, to tie in that, we got to do something that's Midwesty. And so this is the oldest brewery in the Midwest. So, and today we're going to do the Bock. Now, the Bock, for those who don't know, I'm going to get into a few things. The is a bottom fermented lager, so the yeast is on the bottom, right? So that's one of the differences, and it takes extra months of logging to smooth out the Bock that truly aged to perfection. Okay, so let's see if we get any special notes here. Dark brown, a good bit of dark roast aroma, very light coffee and cocoa hints, just the right taste of sweetness and roast. By the way, this is best with hearty soups and stews and salty snacks.
Maybe
Yeah.
salty snacks, yeah.
Yeah, we all know what we're thinking.
Rod?
And
I'm not. They said it's best with a salty snack, Rob.
I got a salty snack for you, Tom. Don't worry about it.
so
I've got one that's easy access.
That second. There we go.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I'm not sure what the fuck
Well,
it was, but...
It's
yeah.
Bock.
okay.
It's a
a
Bock.
Bock, that's for sure. But a good Bock, I think.
It's good, yeah.
Where are our German viewers when we need them? We used to have the Germans.
Yeah. So the
Use them. Bock
multi-body like the box of southern Germany. That's what it says here. And this has been an award-winning one for 65 years for them. So
Wow.
You know, and again, I'm not a big Bock drink, but I'll drink a Bock. This is a really good Bock.
If I keep
How's it
winning
go with that
awards with the
pretzel?
same crap
Amazing.
over and over again,
They weren't kidding. You got to go with the salt. It
Yeah, it really does.
See, here's the thing. It's a really strong. Bock is a fairly strong flavored beer for even not like an IPA flavored beer. You get that. You get the grains in it. You actually taste the roasted grains in it. It's not like a porter that's heavy though. So, they're right. It goes good with salty snacks.
nailed it.
No, because it does cut some of that heaviness. It's
Yeah.
got a very caramely flavor, so it's kind of almost sweet to start with. So you get
Yeah.
that
See, I always-
caramel with the salty.
That's where I always get like, okay, box versus porters, right?
sorry. You guys are killing me.
We're having a serious
I'm learning
conversation,
here.
and
Yeah.
he's over there yucking it up.
I'm having a good time.
You know, that's my job. Huh?
The only other Bock I've had was a double Bock. Double Bock?
Double Bock.
Double Bock,
Yeah.
it's possible. So I think that would even be, more. So
More caramely.
Which is interesting about the idea of bitters, right? People talk about IPAs being very bitter, right? But that's a wholly different kind of bitter
Yes.
than coffee bitter.
Yeah.
And Bocks tend to go towards coffee bitter, so a double Bock would be even more bitter than a normal one, I would think.
I really
Right.
like the double Bock too.
Yeah.
It's the only
I
Bock
like
I've ever had besides this.
Yeah.
So therefore, I like it.
So you liked it, you decided you were back for more.
Yeah.
I played 5%.
Air horn.
Yeah, really. We need an air horn on that
5.5.
one.
Sorry.
Ba, 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 ba.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got it. Bing. Oh wait, it was on the wrong screen. No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Wait. Wait. Damn it. Stupid air horn.
Oh.
You know,
No,
You know what?
fail
Wait.
as a shock jock.
There we go.
Oh, just poop yourself?
Squeaked it out.
Nice.
Squeaked it out.
All right, so I guess we vote, huh?
All right. I'm a big thumbs up on this.
I'm
one.
a-
Oh yeah, that's. You know what? This is probably the first like unquestionable thumbs up we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
agree.
really super happy.
So
with,
Monroe
this.
Brewery out of beautiful Midwest, Monroe, Wisconsin, the oldest brewery in the Midwest.
Now, ironically, this is the same brewery that bring us Mountain Crest, which we woefully panned.
Well, you know,
So, you know, the good breweries can make a good beer and some more questions.
you know, this is. Hey, wait now, and I'm going to give a big shout out to the company as well. Right on the box, Union Made.
Well, there you go.
So that's even better. So big shout out to the Huber Brewing
Union.
Company for being a Union Made beer.
Yep.
Well, now we've lost our supply side economic people.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that.
Sign of
They
supply.
even have it
I
right
have a
on
sign of
the,
supply for you.
Yep.
Union wages make for living wages. That was my union ad. for
Tommy
today, guys.
Riveter over here.
Damn straight, man.
Tommy Riveter.
Did Facebook just cut us off for that comment?
Yeah, they ain't unionizing anytime soon.
Oh!
I'd say Tom would be wrong, but he's right.
Yep. Old Zuck don't
Oh,
like
alright.
that much.
That's it. Okay,
All right, so pass your verdict, which should be fairly simple.
that's it. Judge
On
Rob,
the
do
charge
this.
of abuse of Huber law, I find you not guilty, yet still sentence you to
Drinking!
Woo! Yeah. I'm really late on that.
That's okay. All right, so tonight we're actually going to be talking about, we'll be talking about a lot of things, but what is the actual topic tonight, Rob?
We're going to be talking about emulation systems versus doing the real thing. You know, which one should you be doing? Depending
Right.
on your place in
And,
life.
and we have talked about this topic before, but it's a topic you can delve into again and again because it's a constantly changing field.
Because it's always fun.
Every
because-
about 6 months it
Good.
revises.
Question I have: do the like reboot systems that they're coming out with, like the NES flashback, the Sega flashback, is that considered emulation?
That is considered emulation, unless it's
Yeah.
using the original chipset, which most of those don't, except for like the Famiclone ones, because they're still using those Chinese chipsets that there are billions of floating around.
Yeah, but I would put those into the bucket of luxury systems because they are way more expensive than your average like clone system.
But we'll get into
And I
that
think,
more. We'll get
I think for the most part, if you're buying those, you probably have some extra cash laying around to go shell out for that particular thing.
Right.
And I really want to kind of go more with the bottom rung, the cesspool of things, but also not just the cesspool of things, but some of the finer, some of the better stuff that you can get for a cheap buck.
I'd like to throw you off a little.
Well, you're very good at it.
Yeah, I was
what
gonna
did
say,
you wrap?
and is this anything new? How?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
no. And what I was thinking is, so are we going to make a difference between hardware emulation versus hardware real thing,
I mean,
or media emulation versus media real thing?
they're really not. They're really not that different. Many of the clones use the same code as the software emulation that you use. In fact, most of them have like an OS, except for the really low end ones. They'll have an OS and they'll run the standard emulators. But the Famiclones, which are usually the bottom end of them,
That's all
their
hardware.
own. They're all custom. Some of them are actually Famicom hardware. I mean, or at least
What was the
Famicom on a chip
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Some aren't. Some are whack.
Yeah, some are very whack. They got Java stuff floating around in there and all sorts of other crap.
Who knows? You know?
But no. But that's a good point because and we'll talk about this because both of you own that system. That's a software emulation.
Which one?
Pandora's Box.
Oh, the Pandora's box is
It's a
definitely
software emulation.
Yeah.
In one case, I know in the last case that one was an Android box. The last one I bought is actually an Android box.
Yeah.
I can break into it and start.
And get to the
So-
Android.
Yeah, and I can Put little smiley faces.
Yeah. So we'll get into that more. So I mean, we already started. Well, okay, so let's start with the Pandora's Box because I want to talk about that. For one thing, it's going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. If you haven't seen the Pandora's Box yet, Rob, what's the Pandora's Box?
Or you've seen them and you thought, oh,
I'm not sure
I
about
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, this will be a good chance to actually get your hands on one.
Yeah, and we will have a couple of them at MGC and a couple of their cousins as well. They're kissing cousins.
If I had the money, I'd be getting one.
Yeah, and those also, Pandora's boxes are actually more of a high-end type of item.
Yeah.
But they are epic if you can afford it because they tend to use real arcade hardware combined with an emulation system that's pretty robust.
I think for what you're getting, it's not really high end.
I don't think
That is
for
true.
what you're paying, it's out of there. But I would say that the same
A lot of
person that's in
publishers
that
probably agree.
isn't in market for a Famicom.
No, it's actually.
You've probably got some disposable income
Yeah.
running around.
No,
Like Larry.
Like Larry, yeah.
Larry, 'cause
I'm talking about from the
he buys them when I say, "Hey, go buy this."
True. But regardless, yeah, despite the pricing, I did look prices on Amazon, looking around for Pandora. I'm like, to come think of it, with the amount of games, like, sheer amount of games you get, plus the hardware itself, it's like, it's a steal.
They're pretty impressive. I mean, the last one that I got will even run like PSP games. It'll run Dreamcast games, those kinds of things. It has that kind of raw processing power.
Right.
It's not perfect by any means. Most of them are hacked together. The
Shocking lack of tapper.
yes, shocking lack of tapper. I agree.
That is interesting now that you mention it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's kind
They
of
put
weird.
everything else
Oh yeah,
on there.
and Scott mentioned that you can't use clones to do your records, and that's true. And there's some reasons for it. The timing is different, and there are some differences between them. It would be nice if they made it a little bit clearer about what kinds you can use and what kinds you can't, how close the hardware has to be. But I think they found that now they want all original hardware because, yeah, you can mess with the hardware on these. These can pretty easily be hacked.
A lot of those newer ones, you can speed up, slow down, save state.
Save
No
state's
one's
a
ever
big
hacked an
one.
original.
And you can stitch together really
Oh
easily.
yeah, you can easily cheat on that. And people
I-
have. Yeah.
I do it on, I'll do it on YouTube videos on a pretty regular basis where I'll stitch two together just because it ended before I wanted it to end in the video. I'm
Yeah,
talking
and it's
through it.
convenient for that. However, like competitive.
Yeah, it's
you
not
can't
like
have
what
that.
you do.
You
on
can't
Competitive
have that.
speedrunners have been caught, and busted for like using that shit to. cheat
Yeah, I'm
otherwise,
okay with it.
Yeah,
if
because
it's
you only
more-
have to speed up just a hair.
Yeah,
None of that it's noticeable visually,
yeah.
but where
Or
it
you
does
slow
make a
it down
difference.
and then speed it
Yeah.
up in post editing, which is
Yeah, which is also a big
pretty slimy too. 'Cause
Exactly.
You can
Yeah,
do
again,
some
to
impressive stuff.
trail
by slowing
off.
it down.
down the rabbit hole. So I assume now, what is it? What it counts as? So the controller's probably got to be original, but what counts as for Atari? I suppose it's got to be the one. Whatever controller was packaged with it original.
is how you have to do it. Yes, you can't use funny controllers.
Because otherwise you can get the auto shooters. And
Yeah,
stuff, the
exactly.
dash shooters.
Hey, speaking of which, now that we're talking about all this stuff and doing that, Scott is going to try to set a new world record at Midwest Gaming Classic. So, Guys Games Everywhere will hopefully be hosting Scott, who is has set a couple of records on our show. Only one stands right now.
Got his original equipment ready.
I'm sure he does. I'm
And
sure he is on top
we'll
of this.
absolutely keep the camera on it the whole time because God's sake, they don't want you.
No, I know they
Ah,
got a little flicker about that
admittedly,
still, yeah.
admittedly, they've had
Well,
problems.
go grab
so-
Billy Mitchell. Or make him watch the whole time.
Yeah, some sort of witness.
But
That
Larry,
hurt.
the thing is, are we going to actually grab Billy Mitchell or the cardboard cutout that they kept putting up there?
No, I want him actually there.
I have a really hard
I
time.
was gonna say it's really hard to tell the difference. Hey, Jason,
Jason.
Yeah, I
Donnell!
still have my picture.
Donnell, I hope to see
I
you
know
at Midwest Gaming Classic.
I have my picture and I've showed some people and go, oh, you got a picture with a cardboard cutout of Billy Mitchell? And I went,
You
No, that's Billy Mitchell.
really him!
You wouldn't know.
Nobody
He's made of
believes you ever.
I'm
Never-
sure.
Anyway.
I'm sure after his lifetime ban, he would love to officiate that.
Can he be an officiator then? Maybe not.
You know, I mean, he's not a ban from being a witness. Right?
I'm not even questioning his prowess at the game. I think he's probably. I mean, it's been proven that he's really, really good. So it's kind of sucks that that ego is a big thing.
Ego is a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. All right, so anyway, we got off topic a little bit.
All right, so getting back to the Pandora's box.
We'll do it again.
Yep, we will. Pandora's box, they vary in quality. They go from anywhere from about 150 to about 250, depending on what features you have, how many games you have, what kind of controllers you have,
Who you buy it from?
who you buy it from.
Hey, Dan.
It's really that is ridiculously hard to figure out. That's almost a section onto itself. Like, all right, so I'm gonna get a Pandora's box. Great. You know, most things you roll up and you're like, I'm gonna get one of these things, and you go, okay, that's it, that's the thing.
But there's no one Pandora's
There's
box.
no one Pandora box, and they all look the same.
There
They're
is
all
a semi
or at least-
official model of it, but there's plenty of clones, and you can end up, you know, with they're not necessarily bad either. It's just you got to know what you're buying.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you maybe think you get, and there's like when you buy them on eBay, there's not even. You don't even know if the picture they're using is really the one that is going to show up. No. You know, it's may not.
Good luck.
It may
They
not.
might make it out of whatever's laid
Like I got
out.
the light up buttons, so not everyone has the light up buttons.
Now that one did properly mention its light up buttons.
Yeah.
That one was pretty legit. That's why I love the light up
And
buttons.
you know, they do look good.
They do. I get a lot of crap about not crap. People are really, you know, they're one of the more friendly environments to hang out with. The
Pandora box group?
people.
Yeah.
Pandora's box people are really nice.
And
You
the
know,
Hyperkin
they'll
people.
be like, well, you know, it's not very arcade perfect, but you know, it looks cool. So.
I gotta say, the Hyperkin people were really good too.
Hyperkin are really nice people, and you know, we won't. I don't know if we're gonna go too much into stuff like Retron, but I guess we could talk a little bit about it.
I want to talk about the Retron a bit too.
The Retron.
Hey, we've given away a bitch load of Retron systems. We should at least talk about it.
Not the 5, not the Master. Of
No, but we have
Ceremonies,
given
but
away a ton of Retron.
I had one
systems.
for a while. I actually liked it quite a bit, but it eventually I had all the systems that it emulated and just didn't need it anymore.
All right. Hey, quick question, guys. Daniel wants to know what event are we all what big event are we looking forward to at MGC?
Hey, you
Lords
know,
of the Trident special acoustic set.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
The
Yep, there you go.
official metal
We
band of the show.
we don't get out
Oh.
as much as we'd
That's,
like. To be
yeah.
honest, we end up really spending a lot of time in the room, unfortunately, and not seeing as much. Last year, I did catch the guy that was doing the Apple story.
Oh, that
And
he
he was
was
really amazing.
he was so good.
He was really, really good. I
Yeah.
was happy about that. I usually catch some of the indie devs if I can to run by there because we do a lot with indie devs.
The indie dev area is twice as large as last year.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
good. They deserve it. And yeah, you know, we got Mega Cats right in our room.
I know. How
And
cool is
so I'm
that?
pretty excited about that because they're a bunch of nice guys. We've had them on the show a few times.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show.
They're gonna be sitting
Daniel,
in the
like,
living
yeah,
room,
I
which
mean,
I kind
I
of feel
don't-
bad for, but you know.
I don't really do the panels and stuff,
Somebody's
but
gotta
I
sleep
do
with
like seeing the different, like the new pinball machines that come out, and just revisiting some of the great things that are out there. Like one of my favorite things out there is they have the old baseball game, you know, at the characters that if you hit a base, the characters flip up, you know, the mechanical characters, and they got a new zombie version of that one that came out a couple
Oh
years
yeah, I
ago.
played that last year.
Yeah, it's a blast, you know, just seeing different things, and hopefully someone will bring something new out there. Like we're bringing something new out there. Hopefully something else will show up out there like that, you know, that's something that's just different I haven't seen before. I know the Halo thing. I'm actually pretty
That
into.
Halo.
Oh,
thing
yeah, right?
That they
I'm
posted
actually
today
looking
looks
at
amazing.
Yeah,
I about died when I
Well,
saw
we're not
that.
gonna put it off the topic. We're just gonna talk about MGC during this show, aren't we?
I'm glad it's a 4-seater. There's gonna be bodies around there.
Oh, that
you
was
know,
gonna be
there's-
packed all weekend long. You
Yeah,
know it will.
yeah. And, you know, I'm not even like I don't play Halo or anything like that, but I love shooting games, and the machine itself just looks beautiful.
It
It does, doesn't it? It's amazing. It feels like it should fly around.
Yeah, you know, I'm hoping
didn't
that
see a
someone's
post about
actually
that.
sort of attending to it.
Yeah,
and
they
kinda
posted
going, all right, moving along.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
moving along. You know.
I'm sure.
Game or-
That's a
Yeah,
fully
so-
new game.
Wow. So
So,
it looks really neat. That's for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
yes.
All right, so we gotta get back on topic.
That'd be a great thing at that place.
No,
Yeah,
I,
but
I
I-
like our derailed topics usually more
The
than
derail
our,
topics are very nice. I agree wholeheartedly. We probably should have just done MGC, but since we got people looking for that stuff, we'll talk a little bit more about
Kinda
clones.
ties in.
All right,
Ties in.
so I think one of the big things that determines whether you should go with a clone versus doing the real thing is budget. I mean, that is a big thing. If otherwise you can't play the game, this was one of my kind of sore spots. I'm trying to remember who did a video. One of the bigger YouTubers did a video about how the clones are ruining retro gaming. They're not ruining it. They're spreading
That's amazing.
retro gaming. You know,
What?
it's bringing more people
What
to
are
it.
you
that
talking
can't
about?
afford it.
Ones with built-in or like the Retrons?
This whole
genre.
Basically
He was
talking about
he
the whole.
complained about the whole genre.
Yeah, because they aren't perfect, and they're not. Don't.
No, they never
When
are.
people come in to these expecting perfection is silly. That's just
Yeah, but
it's
I
not
was-
going to happen unless you're on the real thing. You're not playing the real
But
thing.
I was
Ty.
sitting there thinking if you had sort of a limited space for your gaming area,
Right.
that like a Retron 5, and you could just buy all the original games and put them in,
But even a Retro
you know,
5.
would be really cool, as far as like, because if you don't have space for 5 different systems to sit there, or the hookups, or, sometimes that can be kind of challenging.
Well,
we've all
look,
done those kinds of
Look,
spaces.
he dedicated his entire basement to
Yeah.
it, okay? I mean, literally
Yeah.
his entire basement. Rob's got a room in his house, and I mean, it's a big room in his house dedicated to it.
Right.
You've got a chunk of your basement dedicated to it.
Like most of his basement.
One room, part of the bar. I mean, you've dedicated, yeah.
There's a lot of dedication there, but it's like, okay, so you have 6, 7, 8, 10 systems. You don't always have the room, and you don't always have the shared space permission.
And you don't always have the
buying.
cash either.
And you don't always have the cash.
I definitely don't have the cash.
Because you figure, okay, let's say a Retron 5, so that's 5 systems, right?
Right.
So averaging right now $70 a piece.
Yeah.
So
Price is up right now.
what quick math, 350, something like that. So.
But then
400?
you got to go
And
buy.
then but the Retron is maybe 200 or something like that. The Retron 5, I think it's about that.
Yeah.
And so it's a little cheaper that way. And then you have this one little box that you hook up to one jack. It's doing all the work of the hookup for you.
Right.
So I mean
It's HDMI, so that's a really
it's HDMI.
It's
So
pretty
and then you just
customizable.
buy the software to support it and
The cards,
the cartridges.
But there's a
and
significant cost in cartridges, and that is a problem because some of the cartridges cost way more than the system
Right.
does.
And some of them you will never, ever get. Period.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just won't. I don't care how good of a collector you are. Chances are a better collector is going to beat you to it.
Yeah, well, or otherwise the price is going to get super prohibitive. So, you end up...
Don't you know about that, Scott?
How much-
Price being prohibitive. Whoo, damn.
Yeah,
I know
right?
Scott's paid for some of his stuff.
Not me. I could put games anywhere, Benjamin.
Or you can take a Retron,
But
hack it.
not everyone.
Or you can
do
take a
that.
Retron and you can hack it and you can run it off SD, which is perfectly acceptable. But if you're going to get a Retron and hack it off SD for, say, 150, 200, you could get something like like RS-97 here. The RS-97 is about $50, $60. It
Built-in
can hook up
games?
to a TV, has a couple thousand built-in games, and then as well you can add things through SD. I mean, that's a perfectly acceptable alternative. Yeah, it doesn't run everything perfectly, but it runs all. This thing runs everything up through
Here's the
Neo
downside
Geo
of that,
games.
though. Here's the downside of that. And is I don't think I want to hold that. I
Then
prefer
plug
the
it in, hook up a
controllers.
controller.
You can hook up any controller.
You
to
can
it.
pretty much do anything
Hey, Yardley.
with this thing. This thing runs Open Dingo, which is
The dingo ate you.
it's a
baby.
Linux. Oh, I'm gonna get it. All right, I'm gonna say this with an asterisk. I am being a generalist here, and it is not Linux, okay? But it is a Linux-like type of operating system.
like.
Or whatever. It is its own thing though, and but it is similar. It can run pretty much anything you want. You can plug in controllers to it. You can do whatever with this thing. So I mean, it's really just a little mini computer sitting there, and it's pretty boundless up until about like CPS2 or Neo Geo games. And for the price, I think it's a really good deal. And by the way, its screen is really nice. It's a nice little handheld. It's
That
quite
was
bit
on a
of
good
fun.
screen. How much did that one cost you?
This one costs between $50 and $60.
It's not bad.
Depends where you get it from. You gotta watch it. There's several different knockoff versions of this little guy. This was actually based on the original K101, which was a dedicated hardware-based what the heck, Game Boy Advance emulator. That's why it has a. If you look, it's actually got a Game Boy Advance port. It won't work. This does not work with Game Boy Advance cartridges. It will run Game Boy Advance games, but it won't do it. But the original, the K101, they sometimes call this the K101 Plus, but that's not really true. It would run actual just Game Boy Advance. In fact, that was its whole design choice. So, interesting system. It's not 100% perfect, but for $60, you now have access to thousands upon thousands of games, and you could put a cheap SD card in it.
And put anything else that you want on it.
Right?
You know, and again, so we've had this discussion. I like SD cards, game systems, and I like SD card multi-cards because it does allow you to curate your system a little bit. The problem is when you buy stuff that's preloaded, you're going to get a bunch of crap you've got to wade through to play and find what you like. Whereas if it's an SD one, you can customize it, put just the stuff you want in a certain directory. This is what I like about it.
You can curate it.
Yeah, I love our new GDMUs because you can make some really beautiful SD cards for that are just the types of games you want to play on your Jesus. God, wow, I'm having
You know, I'm
gonna go with real quick for the Peanut Gallery. Yeah, original hardware does feel slightly different, and that's absolutely true. But this is like a cost thing, cost benefit. If you can't afford a real Famicom, and you can't afford a CPS, which you can't. Well, probably can't.
Or you can't find a Vectrex because evidently it's been commented that the Guys Games and Beer crew owns most of them
all
in the Midwest.
Of them.
Also,
we driven it up.
Also, Steel Battalion, evidently.
Yeah, we have a lot of those too.
12, 13.
I forget more. Look, if you cannot get yourself like a Neo Geo, all Neo Geo equipment is pretty expensive. Yeah. You can do it on that device for nothing.
3. Larry owns 1.
I'm down to
Jim
1.
owns 1.
I'm down to 1. I've slimmed it.
So yeah, Jimmy owns 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no. I'm sorry. I'm higher than 15. I lied.
I don't know if I could afford it or find one.
Well, now here's a question for you, and a challenge and a thought, and is that we've often talked about the shame of the future market. So the current games that come out don't often. A lot of them don't come out in hard media. They come out in downloadable, fully downloadable content and that. And but now with the Famiclones and the even SD cards and stuff like that, does that like undercut a bit of that market, like sort of justifying that direction? And
it does to me.
If you're out there buying and there's a vibrant used market in that, there's going to be a much more demand to get it in media form.
No, there isn't, because here's the problem.
I'm just throwing it out there.
The initial publisher or creator only makes his profit on the first sale.
No, I understand that.
So he has no incentive.
But let's say I had two
that.
choices, right? I had two choices. I could download it for, and that is, I think, is a mistake of the downloadable content thing, is that it's they offer it at the same hard media price, and I don't think that makes sense to me, because I know your distribution costs and creation costs are not the same. So come on, man, you gotta cut a little break. They do the same thing with books. Like,
Night Ultra.
This book is $30 on downloadable, at $30 in a hardcover. You can hold it in your hand. Come on, man, that ain't right.
Yeah, no, right.
But my point is, let's say there is those two thoughts, right? And then, if there was a vibrant market, a secondary market, people might be more interested in the hard. Like, what's the point otherwise? If there isn't a secondary market, and if the secondary market is a bit dry because people are using SD cards and softwares, it kind of
no. That is, but
there's been no softening in the market.
Correct. The market's only getting stronger.
And that also has been debunked because they did this survey during the CD days when they were trying to go after pirates and they found that the biggest purchasers of CDs were also the biggest pirates. It didn't have any effect. The thing was, if it was available, they would grab a legal version. I have look, I've got what? I don't know how many.
Yeah, you got
Big
more.
Scanza. This is like nothing of what I've got
Right.
sitting in
Well,
containers.
and the funny thing
But
is,
my saying is,
yeah.
I own all these games legitimately
Right.
in one place or another.
Not
I
all
got
of
a
them.
SNES Classic.
I mean, there's
I've got
2,000 games.
Yeah, they're
you
all
have a really big
hacks of the real
collection.
thing.
Yeah,
These
2,000.
are hacks.
There's 150 games with 200 versions
Yes.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, fine, but
No. So here's the thing. All of us.
That is an interesting
We're-
justification idea in the world. If you own one copy of Donkey Kong, do you own every copy of Donkey Kong?
you don't. You don't license wise, but I do have problems with the way copyright law is written, and I don't feel like I have to follow it. Just like some people feel like they don't have to follow some speeding signs. The way it's treated is like it's some kind of huge federal crime where it's just really a civil court issue, and I do actually try to make sure that the developer gets money, but there are lots of cases where things are being bought up. The original developer's dead or gone,
Right.
not seeing a dime of this, and some soulless corporation is just picking the crap up.
Yeah.
I don't feel a whole lot of impetus. I will buy them because those give jobs. I buy ridiculous
Well, I know-
amounts of
I
retro
know
stuff.
that's-
But how many times have I bought Pac-Man? Really?
Yeah.
How many
Well-
Pac-Mans do I own legally? I
Yeah.
think I could be given the slide on one damn copy of Pac-Man.
No. Here's the thing. You
Well,
know-
I understand. And you buy one of those things, and maybe you own 40 copies of that game, even in the system you bought it. So maybe
Right.
you own 40 games for the SNES, and you bought a SNES clone that comes with 2,000. It's like, well, I couldn't control what came on it, you know?
Well, and more to the point, again, there are games that there are oddball games. There are dozens of copies of the same game. You can't buy everything. There are rarities you will never get your hands on. I would love to tell, and not that I wouldn't get my hands on them if I could.
Right.
I mean, come on, we collect Vectrexes, guys.
Yeah.
We are kind of the epitome of the stupid collectors who
Yeah,
are
we
collecting shit.
I don't know. They're stupider.
Okay, who are collecting oddball, really expensive crap that has no
Oh, wait.
retail value to speak of.
Wait. No.
Only amongst us.
We buy probably the most dead.
Yeah,
systems.
thank you. All right, right. Yeah, let's see. We're
This system sucked and nobody bought it.
Dreamcast, Vectrex.
CD32.
Should I go on? Yeah. 3DO. Okay. Enough said. Enough
I'm
said.
ashamed right
We
now.
mostly just
What's
buy
that?
the dead
I'm
stuff.
ashamed.
Yeah, enough said. Okay, so there are things especially for these oddball systems that we collect, that you can emulate.
Fairchild.
Yeah,
Can you emulate
I have a
Fairchild?
Channel F. Yeah, I got a multi-card for my Channel F. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I got a freaking Channel F. Okay, I got a Bally Astrocade multi-card too. Where am I ever going to find again all the Channel F games or the Fairchild games?
Impossible.
I'm sorry, not Fairchild. Bally Arcade games.
Why isn't there a Super Cassette Visual multi-card?
There probably is, Rob. You just haven't
I
looked
haven't
hard
seen
enough
it.
yet. Trust me, man.
I haven't seen
I'm
it.
always, and again.
What's with the Japanese and not releasing multi-cards to make me happy?
Yeah.
God, it's expensive.
Well, again, the problem is, and when I find the stuff, I actually buy the originals because they're collector items. But it's hard to find a lot of this stuff. So, emulating the game. Now, this is not a game emulator.
Benjamin, boo.
Boo! Get out of here, Jefferson!
What the heck is that?
What the hell, you damn troll! I'm putting. That's it. Get him the troll helmet for when he
Yeah,
shows up.
you are
Get
so
your
wearing the troll
helmet.
helmet. Just happens to look like a penis helmet, though.
Wasn't even that little robot in Buck Rogers that's
Yeah,
Oh, Tweaky,
it's like a
Tweaky,
yeah,
Tweaky.
Yeah.
Beady beady.
My wife
I'm
had
a
that
pervert.
DVD. I looked at him like, he looks like a dick.
Hey, he was super nice when I met him at the car show when I was 8.
Really? Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so
He's nice.
let's go.
All right, roll it back.
Let's roll
Roll
it
it
back.
back.
Let's roll it back.
And he
All right, roll it
carried
back.
like Dr. Zaius on his lip.
Yeah. Okay, so
All right, so let's roll it back to the cheap thing. You know, there are a lot of gamers out there that really they barely have anything to spend. I mean, less than $50.
Yeah.
Less than
Yeah.
less than anything. So there is actually a market for them. You miss your, you had a NES in your childhood, or you got to play a NES in your childhood, and you want to try it. There is the handheld family phones, and those sit there in a $20 range. And I'm doing a video on my station about this, but I think let's just
Roll
throw it
the
out.
plug.
Yeah, for G2B, I'm gonna do something where I'm gonna tell you what to look for. Okay, and this. I've got a bunch of. I buy some 20s like they're freaking going on a style. But even though these two look very similar, these are completely different devices, and you
I
have
thought
to
you were trying
really
to get
look.
them in Skittle colors.
He is.
Yeah, I am. But
Donnell.
But there are some things you need to look for in this, and the most important thing with a lot of these is, and the biggest problem you can have is the D-pads on these. And the D-pads on many of these have a problem where they lock in place.
Oh,
Look at that.
See, it's stuck already, and he just
Okay,
pushed it
so
once.
here's the
And
clip.
two of them are pushed. It's literally gone underneath the plastic.
That's
So
cheap,
if I
yeah.
go forward and then go back, I'm not going to go back. I'm just going to keep going forward. And that is a significant problem on these, so it's something to really keep an eye out for. Now, there are two ways that producers have come up with to address this issue, but not all the producers do it. First way is you actually put some support in the center, like you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, and what that does is it causes it to pivot on that center point, and it works just fine. The other thing they try to do, and that is done in the fake BitBoy, and did the original
The actual
BitBoy just do it
BitBoy?
really well? No, I don't think they did.
No, the original BitBoy didn't
had a
do
center
it.
had a center post. But the fake BitBoy, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of avoid the fake BitBoy. It's okay though. It actually tries to correct this, and if you look on the top of this, there's a little bit of a lift. Can you guys see that?
Well, yes, they
And
did.
by adding a lift, what it does is your thumb tends to press a little bit more, and as you can see, it does not lock down unless you press firmly on the center.
Right.
And that actually does help. It does make a big difference. So
Little design change.
So it's just
But-
beyond the stretch. It's beyond the
Right.
reach
What
of
you're
the
doing is
thing.
So, but Rob brought up an interesting point. I do want to address this real quick because somebody here recently has done this. If there's a system you played as a kid and you want to get it, something like this is a good fill-in. It's
great.
And speaking of which,
I got the, or actually, my fiance got me the Sega Genesis Flashback, which it comes already preloaded with games. It comes with wireless controllers. They take two AAA batteries to run, but yet it has so many games that I haven't even ever heard of, as well as the cartridge port completely works.
hey, it's
it's
Vidja.
a big plus. Hey,
So
Vince,
they
With the original?
Huh?
With the original?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can take original Sega games, plug
This
it
is
into
the
the
newer
cartridge
version
port.
of this, because they had an older version where it did not
Actually,
have
no,
it.
Oh, that one.
I have, no, even some of the older versions. I've got an older one that does play it.
It's-
AT Games varies on that.
Yeah.
they're on crack.
I felt it strange that like the Sega one they got away with the cartridge port.
Yeah, but they're on the Genesis
But
one.
then again, there wasn't any.
But they were licensed. I mean,
Yeah,
they were
AT,
licensed.
AT Games is good about getting licensing.
Oh,
yeah, they're not so good about
The
making
Sega
hardware.
one
No, but they're good
They're
about
hit or
licensing.
miss. They
The
get
Sega
really
one
good.
actually got licensing from
Yeah.
Sega.
Yeah, no. AT Games is a more reputable company.
Whereas when I looked to be like, so why did the NES Flashback not get it? They didn't get licensing for cartridges.
Well, that one plug and play system.
No,
for
they
Sega.
were actually made by Nintendo. They
Yeah.
could have put it in
Yeah,
there if they
Nintendo
felt
probably
like it.
chose against
Okay,
They
then,
actually
hey,
own-
I just read some.
They actually was produced by
Self-owned.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any of. I got a stack of fake Nintendo minis, and some of those have SD card readers in them, and they're amazing.
Well, either way, I mean,
They're crap,
Yeah,
but they're
it's
amazing.
Good, you got
The ones
that.
at
and
the
then,
dollar store are amazing.
oh yeah, I love my Flashback. I love that.
Oh yeah, and
No, I'm
Scott
sure it's
pointed out
awesome.
that Act Games did indeed
Yeah, the
lose
Act Game ones is
rights
bullshit,
to
dude.
Sega. Sega got sick of them, and they were very
It's like
hit or
80
miss.
games, and half of them were shovelware, just like you just.
Oh
garbage.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
put their own
And the
weird games
sound
in there. Yeah.
emulation, the sound. I don't know what kind of sound card was in it, but it must have come from a dumpster because that shit sound like.
You can
awful.
actually fix it. It's a flaw in their design on
Oh my
the
fucking
fire
God.
core.
Yeah.
You can actually short out between 2 points, and you can correct the sound.
Yeah, and that's
For
still
what?
that's very
For the
Act Games
fire
version.
core based
Yeah,
stuff. I don't know if
Firecore.
the new one is.
Does it oversing it?
Yeah, I remember
Is
the
that what the
yeah.
problem is? When
No,
you
it's
buy
just
a short work?
it sounds tinny. I think that's is
Mm.
that the best word for
No,
what
no,
it is?
worse.
It's just
No, tinny's
distorted.
very subtle. It's It sounds like something out of hell. It's like
But see, that's what I'm saying. Over singing,
does.
you know, it's,
Yeah.
it's overdriving
yeah.
the sound. So
But
just
it's
kinda
actually not the sound system itself. It's actually a flaw in how they implemented it.
Yeah, it's actually a low. The music when like the sound emulation is like a much lower pitch, like much lower.
Yeah, it's
You
off,
listen to it.
right?
It sounds like it's from hell. Like you're playing a Sega Genesis from hell. Like this does not. Listening to the Sonic the Hedgehog music play, it sounds. It does not sound. It's not.
It's
inspiring.
off.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like it's
Most
very,
actually
it's
Sega
depressing.
emulation is pretty off.
The best way I can describe it is depressing listening to the sound coming.
But they might have corrected it on yours.
I
don't know.
don't notice anything. As a matter of fact, I go, oh, this sounds just like old school or
We
stuff.
totally
Yeah.
need to do a video on that.
But yet, well, I can bring mine in. But yet, another thing that I really love about
He
it.
thinks all our stuff sucks.
No, hey, I like that I finally have something I can bring in.
I'm throwing out all my pile of Genesises.
Right.
It's gonna be a genocide.
Oh!
Wow, you went there, Rob. You went there.
Oh, you're a real
Can I get
altered
another beer?
beast.
Well, yes, Rob.
Ow!
Dang.
All right.
But the one I want to try most, the one I try most is the SG. It's a Mega Drive SG because it's not only does it comes with an adapter so you can play Mega Drive games on it, but on top of that, the emulation is beyond perfect. It's like you put any game in there, it's actually turns all the graphics into HD and makes the music to HD. You can actually take like a dock for a Sega CD and plug it in there, and even turn Sega CDs into like.
So
HD.
wait, it's actually got the original Genesis dock built into it?
Yeah, I watched
Okay,
a review
that's
of it.
pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, it's not built into it. It's like a standard unit. It comes with like a cartridge adapter you can use to plug Mega Drive games. They plan to eventually make it to where you can do 32X games, Game Gear games, a couple others, but you can actually legit plug into the original CD port, and the CD games themselves.
Okay,
will
that would be
actually
pretty cool, actually, because the
emulated,
game sucked
yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah. So it goes beyond having the original chapter. It's like beyond like where it's improved. That's something I want to see in plug and play consoles, not this like the Fire Core bullshit. Because that was so angry. when that came
As
out.
much
Yeah.
as I like seeing games be put up into like 4K graphics and whatnot, I have to admit that on my Sega that I have, I had the option to be like, oh, have updated graphics or have scan lines.
Yep.
You want scan lines.
I just went.
Yeah, and that's what.
Well, no,
No,
that's
you
what
did.
that-
Yeah,
You
that's
do.
what SG has.
Depends what
Has
he
built
means
in
by
scan line.
updated graphics. If like if it's actually updated
Yeah,
graphics,
that's not what they usually are.
or is it just?
I really
like,
don't mind it without the scan lines. I really don't.
I disagree with you.
There you
I
go.
disagree. I disagree on
It
that
looks
too.
more
Because you're
like
both tards.
smooth
No, I'm just kidding.
over graphics, not really up.
Well, I mean a
but
little.
smooth
Now,
over.
it does
But
have
it
that
tends to make it
option,
look
yeah.
a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love when we all just disagree.
Yeah.
Now the SG does have those features. built in
Anybody
where
who
you
doesn't
can-
have scan lines,
while the game is running, you can
it's
actually-
just wrong.
You can bring up the options and you can actually
I think
set
scan
it.
lines don't
do I
look right
scan
to
line,
me.
Do I have filters on it? Like
They
the
just
blur
look-
filter to.
You've been
it-
looking at them almost
Right.
all
Otherwise,
your
by
life.
default,
Fake scan
by
lines
default,
don't
it
look
does
right.
Improve the graphics and the sound like immensely. It
It's
still
not
looks the
cheap.
same.
It's not cheap.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is like.
This,
you
this
choose
is
to
getting
go
to the
down-
high end.
Yeah.
How
No,
much is it?
but
I
it's
guess
worth
go-
it.
190.
Yeah.
In fact,
That's
I love
amazing.
scan lines so much. I bought the glasses that like make everything scan lines.
Yeah, he walks around and he's got a scan line.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, we're,
Alright.
we're far afield.
Okay.
We should probably
I-
start.
I'm gonna rewind. We're not actually that far afield though.
Okay.
But I am gonna go back to the Famiclones and a couple you probably could get.
Read Mitch's comment up first.
Scan lines and the beer goggles in front. That is so true. So true. I don't like fake scan lines. I'm okay with them when they're really there. But the fake ones I don't like. But anyway, all right, back to it. I'm going to talk a little, just real quick, about two
Nothing
you
is
probably
sexy.
could pick up and be happy with. And they're not perfect, because none of these are perfect. But this is Retro Games Q3. And Retro Games has been making a pretty good name. They're the RS-97 makers. And the Q3 has a proper D-pad, proper buttons. It ain't perfect. It's not a perfect implementation. The screen isn't as good as some of them.
Like you
but-
decided to show it with no battery power.
Well, I mean, it's totally on. Power it up. There's a switch on the top. Man.
Hey, Chris.
And it does use an older. It does use an older USB.
And walk that up to the screen.
USB.
So that way you can switch it on me?
It doesn't use the Nuria.
Switch camera, switch
I don't even
camera.
think I've switched it all day. It doesn't use. It uses the older USB adapter, so it doesn't have as much reliability or longevity as the new ones, which the micros are the newest ones. And the USB micros are a lot more reliable than the old USB minis. But what it does have is it plays things pretty accurately, not perfectly, but pretty accurately. It's got a very nice screen, and the controller works. And to be honest, in this kind of price range, controller, this is a $15 device. A great controller really goes a long way with it, and it is pretty nice. It also has, I believe that one has video out. I think that's another feature that should be done on these, because it's nice to be able to hook it up on a TV. Even though it doesn't have a 2-player option on that particular one. This one does, but it sucks butts, so. But anyway, yeah, I don't say that on my station. See, you don't get that on mine. You get it on Guys Games and Girls. I'll say it sucks.
You get not great, right?
Yeah, I am not great. I
great.
do not great, yes. But
It's,
it sucks, but I'm
could
more
be better.
opinionated here.
Needs improvement.
Yeah, needs improvement. Yes, N. Gets a little N. I don't want the kids to be all upset. So that one actually is pretty good. And then the other one that I think is pretty good is this GB Station Lite, which is another Famiclone shaped like a Game Boy SP, and this is only $15. And it does deal with the D-pad lock issue by bringing the edges up, but it is shallow enough that you don't notice it. So it actually works pretty well. It does feel kind of cheap. It feels cheaper than that one does, and the plastics are cheaper, but it has this really nice protective design.
Right, so even though the plastic's
really
not
nice.
as good, it does close up so it protects everything.
Right, and it actually, it's pretty nice. It does use a custom charge port, though, which is really bizarre.
That is weird.
I think what they did is they used the Game Boy SP clone shell for it.
That's the actual charge port?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
actual charge
Actual
port.
the adapter that you would use?
Yeah.
I'm not
To, like,
100%
link 'em?
sure. You know, I haven't tested it, and you gotta watch it, because the link port, no,
Well, it's a little
that's not a
different.
link port.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
that's a
It's not
charge
link
port.
port. No, it's not the.
That's
it's
a
not
charge
the
I
port.
think
link
the
port.
metal is the same, but the inside is not.
Right.
Yeah, it's a charge port.
But
It's not
both
a
of
link
these,
port.
both of these feature very standard batteries. So even though they come with a very cheap cell phone battery, you can change it out with a very standard cell phone battery. This one comes with an extra cartridge. I'm gonna give you a pro tip about the cartridge. Have you been watching my station, Ryan?
Never
Do you
heard
know
of it.
this? All right. I know you watch it because you comment some shit on it. But this one,
You gotta cover that up better.
yeah, right? You should come out as I'm not
I
Ryan.
told you.
Ryan.
So this is actually a jumper. This isn't a real cartridge. There's no data
Oh, yeah,
stored on here.
Oh,
It
you're
has nothing.
kidding.
It's got like a
Everything is actually
like a-
inside the system. So when you plug it, it could have just been done with. It was,
it's a wire.
It's redundant.
Why did the what? They're going back to the Odyssey days? What is this?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the Odyssey.
Okay, thank you.
Meet the Odyssey 3. They were playing this. Yeah, it came out.
Yeah.
But it is actually, both of those machines are actually well worth picking up, and they're fun to play. Runner-up probably is this. It is the Cool Baby clone of the BitBoy. I've got the real BitBoy here. The real BitBoy... This is the BitBoy, this is the new BitBoy, sorry. The new BitBoy is freaking art. But the original BitBoy was pretty darn good.
That color is spot
And
on.
this is
Yeah,
basically a
they
clone.
really did. They actually got
You
the look.
know.
No, they
No,
got the.
it's the same shit.
But they got the exact. They really did a good job in the coloring and everything. It's really good.
So, absent your obsession, the
You haven't even hit the surface.
you know, are you saying that clone retroing is really the way to go, or are you saying only on a budget it's the way to go? What are
I
you
think-
saying here?
All right.
There's two types of people. Number one, you don't have the budget or the room. One of the two. All right.
Hello.
Number two,
Hello, who?
you're kind of psycho. You're kind of psycho like I am, and you just tend to pick these things up because you just love carrying them around and having people ask, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah.
You know, we're like, hey, great Game Boy Advance. This isn't any Game Boy Advance. This is a complete piece of $50 crap.
They sell them on that
It's
crap.
a Famiclone.
No, but I really, here's the thing. You take this on vacation with you. You're not worried about losing it. It's not an expensive device. You can beat the hell out of it. I've had this thing for probably 2 years. It has never missed a beat. It is my second favorite of the devices that I actually carry around somewhere.
Right.
And it has survived.
All I'm
Really
hearing
good.
is screw
Yes.
collecting original.
No.
Run to the clothes.
Let's get back into this.
All right.
Find the right clothes.
So here's the thing.
There's a clone war going on. I'm just hearing that there is
It's a Clone War. All right. So here's the thing. If you are some perfectionist, and I don't even understand why perfectionists go and look at these things, because it's not perfect emulation. It's not a perfect controller. It is not the best way to play these games by any means. The best way to play is with the original. There's no question. It's the way it was meant to be played with the original controller. It's great. But you don't always have the room, the money, or the insanity to go get these.
I don't feel like you challenged in the right way, right? On that, what you just said. I don't feel you challenged in the right way. All those are not a Retron. They're not
But
something
even the
where you took
Retron doesn't give you the right feel.
No, but it does for like a Sega.
No, it doesn't. It's not the same.
It's
closer.
It's closer than that.
Closer
if
than that.
I'm playing a Sega game on that,
To be honest,
it is less.
You're not playing a Sega.
Close.
No, you're not. Those are almost all
that's a
NES
family.
games.
Well, that's
Yeah.
part of my idea. Is like, okay,
There's no
are
balance
you
in it.
talking about? And this is mostly what you talked about are these Famiclones that, or is it original hardware versus some other way to play that thing? And we did talk about the Genesis, and we did talk about and
So this is a primarily Genesis emulator.
Right.
There is one.
I'm lying. Okay.
There is one.
All right. I
Oh,
have
there are.
several. I have several. Okay.
a
This
PSP.
looks like
A
a
PSP.
Genesis. This is not. This is the PAP K. This is the PAP K3, which is actually a really beloved game system. It's very similar to the RS-97. They both can run Open Dingo, so they're both or Dingux, depending on how you feel like pronouncing it. They both will run that. They're both very similar platforms. This one's got a little bit less performance than the other, but the Genesis clones look a lot like this, and there are Genesis clones out there.
Yeah.
At Games actually made a really nice little handheld Genesis clone. Yeah, I'm gonna get hate about that, but it was really nice.
It was not
for
bad at
handheld.
all.
And it was cheap. Also, there are dozens of Genesis-based handhelds that are very similar to this guy. They all look like PSPs.
Right,
Yes.
and there are several
see-
Genesis plug and play systems as well.
Yeah.
AT Games makes several models
And of varying quality.
of varying quality.
I really like the. I've got the arcade one.
The
arcade
arcade
joystick.
stick.
Yeah,
I do
it's-
too.
See,
I bought one after you bought one. If you
Did you?
remember, yeah.
See what I
Yeah.
what I
It
thought
takes
of
an
this.
SD card and it's beautiful.
What
And
I-
that's a high quality one.
What I thought is, I have more visions of flashbacks or like the Retrons or the Retron
But
Lights.
I think the
feel-
Retron has a place. If
Right,
you've got
it
the
does.
budget
It
and
does.
don't
But
have
the
the
feel,
room.
but the feel
That's
is
what we
still
got.
not
there's
the
the
same.
Retron. Like I have a Retron 1. It's just an NES. It only uses. In fact, it's what I'm gonna bring to MGC for my shooting gallery. I don't have an original NES, right? And so I know it's crazy, and there are problems with it. Like it will not drive
The Power Glove.
The Power Glove. It doesn't have the right amperage or anything like
Right.
that.
Right.
It just doesn't.
It's
it
not
just
a
won't
question of
drive.
connections. There
And-
really
and-
is a question of power.
There is but it drives almost everything else just fine, and you go out and you so when you visit the various vendors at MGC, you can pluck out a few nice NES cartridges and bring them back and plug them in, and that's great. So I guess I was thinking about more along that line, like is that system that I bought to play those NES on? Is that good enough, or do I really need a push down toaster for for it to be the real experience, whatever.
Purists
Purists
would argue that you do. but I'm not a purist,
Okay.
so I'd say, hey, good enough. I mean, it's
You
way
know,
cheaper
It is way cheaper.
and way less.
But I'm
great.
gonna argue the other direction. To get the feel of the original games, you really do want the original.
and you're starting to get to a diminishing problem.
I'm splitting
Every
hairs.
year. There's going to be some die-off, and they ain't making any new.
It's less and less.
So
We are, as we've talked about before on the show, in the golden age of retro gaming. People are restoring systems more than ever before. I mean, the beauty of the current market is
there's some in the landfill.
not as many as there used to be. I mean, honestly, I belong to all these groups that literally it's all about preserving old games, preserving old computers, preserving old everything. I mean,
there's that one.
I belong
they
to a
go
group-
out to landfills and they dig and recover.
don't kid yourself. I've got pictures of people digging systems out of
Read the comments,
landfills
Ryan.
to do it. It's really gotten to the point where people are not letting this old hardware die or go to waste. And so
they're upgrading them.
Yeah,
So I
and
guess
replacing bad components, replacing things with things that won't go bad, like
Adding
they used to.
HDMI to them.
So
composite
next
out.
weekend,
Adding
huge
component out.
gaming convention. There's lots of vendors, and they have several choices.
We need to finally bring us towards the end.
They have several choices when you get
I
there.
gotta get
They
going.
may
Alright,
even
see you
have.
later.
Yeah,
See you later,
see you
Jake.
tomorrow.
Have a good
See you
one.
tomorrow.
They may even have some of those choices. They may even have some of the retrons. They may have the original. So I'm walking in there with my fat wallet, and so direction.
Fat. Okay, you've got a fat wallet. You're at MGC this weekend.
Buy the original.
I know for a fact there are several vendors out there who sell the originals that have already been modded with either HDMI or composite out. So they're selling 2600s. They're selling some not Genesis, but they're selling old systems that have already been modded with some of the mods that you'll see. I think you'll see even more of that this year. Buy the original, okay? If you've got the fat wallet
And room.
so buy the original.
Way to go.
You're going to get a better
That would be
experience.
equal,
Yeah.
'cause
You're
that's
going to
great.
get a better experience.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm out of the room. Sorry.
Bullshit.
And by the way,
Calling it right now.
By the way, here's another topic. Here's another thought on that whole, because some systems lived long enough to be retros of themselves.
All right, that's it. I'm wrapping this.
All right, let's wrap
Do
this.
you buy
Well,
the
we're like,
do you
before-
buy the
before you wrap
slim
this.
PlayStation 2 or the fat
Buy the fat.
PlayStation?
Do not go with the slim PS2 sucked. Okay, Rob. Before we do this,
wrong in
let's
that.
talk about.
Yes, we say
All right, Rob.
That's it. I'm
Let's
had it with this shit.
let's mention a few things that we are.
No,
bringing
we have
up in
several
this
things.
gaming
I'm gonna
class.
slow her down.
All right,
Slow her down. Let's not slow
right,
the ending
all
out. We got lots of things to mention. Obviously, MGC is gonna be huge.
Oh my God, it's gonna be
Yeah,
amazing.
super exciting. We obviously have our room that is larger than last year, but much like last year, maybe people didn't even know this. We had a presentation room, so because we're a sponsor of the show, official sponsor of the show, that we have a presentation room. So a room that has panels and that are dedicated, that the room has our name on it, right?
There's a good chance we'll show up. I mean,
and-
there's a good chance that we'll show up.
And this year, we again have a presentation room. So it's called the G2B room. So this year, and so that way you don't mix it up between our room, the guys' games and beer room, and the presentation room. So that just to get a little divided out.
Damn it, Larry, this is going on the audio. Hurry the hell up.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's just gonna yeah.
I gotta fucking compress this shit.
anyways, I'm gonna yak.
We have some
now.
amazing. We have some amazing.
So there's going to be
Talks
some
going on.
amazing guests in that panel. So
Yes.
when you come out to MGC, I encourage you to check that panel out.
Yeah, no, there are
Check
no-
that
multiple
room out.
Check that
and-
room out. I mean, there is so much cool
Yeah.
stuff. So we got the World of Nintendo Aftermarket Games 2 is going to be in our room. Who else do we have in our room? We have got the YouTube Survival Guide in our room.
This is our
I do that
presentation
one.
room, not
Yeah.
in our room.
in our presentation.
in our
room,
presentation room.
Right. We've got the Nintendo World Championship Historical Panel is going to be having a discussion in our room. Yeah. Adam Rubin's going to be talking pinball from controversy to glory in our room. There's going to be so many good things going on in our
About
discussion.
3 times.
Oh, and again,
people
watch out for the
that we had
Fireballs,
that
who last year made all the comments about the naming choice for the room they were in.
Yeah, you bastards. Host your own freaking room then.
They are going to be in our room.
No, I'm just kidding. They're awesome. Really, I'm just being a bastard.
So then, and it's a hop, skipping away, literally across the
hallway there.
Across the hallway is our room where we will be displaying all our many wares.
So much.
And so in that room, we're going to have our skeet shooting
Twin skeet shoots.
twin skeet
Chicago coin.
From 1970.
4.
Yes, it is. It is. We had some challenges this week.
Oh,
but
Friday.
It is. It
Friday.
is full. Yeah. It's not good when it's burning up. But we
We
fixed
fixed
that
it.
problem.
We fixed it.
Will not catch on fire.
Not get blowing fuses.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So then
I
we
was freaking
just hooked a wire to it.
All right,
and it was on
segue.
fire.
Segue.
So anyway, that'll be part of the shooting gallery, and then Brian is going to be doing some really cool stuff.
Oh
He's
my
going to
God.
come up.
Amazing.
So last year, if you were out to the Midwest Gaming Fest, we had the Lords of the Trident guitar player.
An amazing guitar player.
One of the guitar players playing our room all day. Well, last year he just kind of winged it, which was amazing. Just him winging it, right? And this year he's got like this whole presentation thing, and so there'll be various sets throughout the day. He'll be playing, and so he's doing kind of a
Video game
theme, and there's videos to go along with it.
This guy
and
is
stuff.
an amazing
So
guitarist. You
that's
have to
gonna
watch
be super
it.
exciting. VR is making a return to our room.
I know.
So
and this year, oh my God, the VR is going to be amazing.
So Jim will be running that, and so that's going to be super exciting. Other guests are Not Your Parents' Basement will be.
They're not guests. They're sharing a room with us.
Yep.
Wait, you don't want to treat them like guests?
Well, I will. I always treat them like guests.
I felt
Oh boy.
come on, So and then we also will have as sharing our room.
Mad Cat Studios.
Mega Cat.
Mega.
See, I did it again. I do it every
Mega.
time. I do it every time. Think like a
Cat.
lie.
Mega Drive.
I know it's right there. I know it's right there.
It says Mega, yeah.
That's
but
just
you
how
still
it's-
attempt to say
All right.
Mega Cats,
Mega
yeah.
Cat on
We
that
also
wall.
have Pick Up and Go games are going to be in our room as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Sitting there. Do not forget also our sponsors, because my God, you guys are going to go on for freaking ever. Our good friends over at Lionheart
Just going
Racing.
slow to get
Hey,
the
that looks like a
information out.
2019
Okay.
schedule.
That looks like a
Racing.
2019 schedule.
This is a 2019 schedule up on the wall. Guys, can you detect? Can you see?
Looks like there's a race tomorrow.
There's a race.
There's
There's
gonna be
a race tomorrow.
So you better catch it, because remember, we are continuing this. We'll put up some posts about this as well. If you send us a picture, I think the first 10 people.
Right.
First 10
So
people.
first 10. If you see a G2B sticker on a car and you do a screen capture of it while you're watching the
It's
race.
gonna be a crappy one. We're not picky.
No, we're not picky, but you gotta. I want to see the G2B sticker on that car. We will send you a free game.
There's more than one car.
There's a
That
lot.
has
Yeah, exactly.
multiple sticker on the
Exactly.
car.
So if you see the G2B
So-
sticker on a car, you screen capture as you're watching the race. We will send you a free game.
Any of our media sites like Twitter at Guys Games Beer, or you can send it to us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. You can even email us at photos@guysgamesandbeer.net. You can do any of those. You can even email Drunk Larry at guysgamesandbeer.net. And yes,
We
get
paid
it.
extra for that.
We
Yeah.
did. That's like $500 a year, because it's such a huge property right now.
It's OG.
It's trending on Twitter.
It's OG.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's OG. Hey, at Midwest Game Classic, we G2B has an after party and
Saturday night.
Saturday night. So if you're there Saturday and you're interested in playing a little werewolf with the G2B gang and many others,
Cannot wait.
Just grab one of the guys.
Yeah.
Talk to one of the guys.
Talk to
Gotta
one of the
get
guys. Do
sensitive
not
about it.
grab one of the guys.
Do not
Well, you
grab
can
one of the guys.
Some of the guys might enjoy it. Just gonna put it out there.
Yeah,
But
generally
Too much.
speaking,
They might
talk
follow you
to
around.
one of the G2B guys, me, Tom, Rob,
Right.
and many of the others.
And we'll
'cause
get you the
we
invite
have
to the
to
game.
have a larger staff for this thing.
Right.
And let us know, and we'll.
I've
let
heard
you know
I've heard
about
rumor
that.
there might be a special guest at
We
this
might even have a
particular
special guest.
version of Werewolf.
We're not
Yeah.
naming it.
No, we're not
Yeah,
naming it.
we're not
Naming
Just
it,
in
but
case,
there
just
might
in
be.
case.
It should be pretty cool though. I actually like the idea, even though I make fun of it because it's awesome. All right. Anyway, that is it for Guys, Games, and Beer. I want to thank. Almost made it.
You're the best.
Almost made it. I want to thank you guys. Well, I'm like half an hour over. I want to thank you guys very much for watching this episode. This particular episode, if you didn't catch the beginning of it, probably will be up on iTunes and all those other podcasting places because it's pretty audio based. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good night, folks.
We will see you this weekend at the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee,
Woo!
Wisconsin. At
Be
the
there.
Wisconsin Center. You need to be there. It's amazing.
I agree.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed.
Woo! 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 Just something to exit with, you know.
Yeah, all right. I'm good with that.